I'd say the first thing I would be taking care of to make sure that you do come back and you make the most of your time being injured is do everything right. Whether that is recover the best you possibly can. Whether that is doing a rehabilitation program, follow that to the letter. You don't want to come out the other side of an injury, whether it's taking you 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, months maybe, and thinking, I wish I could have done more. When I've torn my muscles, especially when I've torn like my hamstrings and my quads and I've had these tears, I have actually ended up coming back sooner than was prescribed. That's one, because I was pretty good at my training, and any athlete that I've seen that is really good at their training, it's the benefit of doing regular training is the fact that your body teaches itself to repair better and better. But more often than not, when I got injured, I did everything right. I did straight away. I would whatever it was needed, whether it was ice, whether it was movement. There's different theories that are going on. There's different injuries require different things. But whatever it was, I got the advice and I got told what to do. And then I got onto it and I did it. I prioritized that more than anything and got straight away knowing that I was ticking that box. And that put me in a much better place, knowing that, okay, I can't control this situation that I'm in, but I'm doing everything I possibly can to make it a better one. And when you can do that, that brings some form of control back into your life. You're able to control that looking after your body. And by doing that, you'll start to feel a little bit easier. And that's, again, through my own experience of many different injuries, but also seeing other athletes, because ultimately, aim of the game is to try and get yourself back to full fitness as soon as you possibly can. It's not about rushing it, but it's about doing it right so that when you come back, you don't risk doing it again. I know for a hamstring injury, for example, I think it's about 6 weeks after you're kind of back from full fitness or after it was done, then that's where you're most susceptible to doing it again. So it's not necessarily about getting back super quick and as fast as you possibly can, but getting back with quality, getting back with the knowledge that you've done everything right and your body is in the best possible place to have a crack and push the letter again and go again. So the other thing you can do with being in an injury, in a space for injury, is that you can use the time to reflect on what you possibly could have done better or what you can do better moving forward. So perhaps if you got injured, there was something you were neglecting. I'm going to use my hamstring example as another one. So I had neglected flexibility. My hamstrings were super tight. They were strong, but they were super tight. And I'd neglected flexibility. So by the time I came out of the first lot of injuries with them, I started a flexibility training program. I took up yoga, for example, and they really had a benefit. It really helped. I've told this story before, but when I went into starting on yoga, I went from getting an injury every 3 months, I think. And then by the end of it, of taking up yoga, I hadn't had one in about 18 months. And it was because I added in this element that I knew I needed to add in. I didn't change my training. I was training just as much, but I added the recovery, I added the flexibility side, and that was the thing I needed to do right. So it was that part of my game that I needed to improve. That was part of my physicality and my physical training that I had improved on with the time to reflect, because I just ultimately didn't want to sit in that space again. I didn't want to be sitting, not playing and not being able to do anything. So use the time to reflect on what you possibly could do better. And it takes some honest thinking here. It takes being honest with yourself. What could I do better? Go ask questions of someone. If you're not sure of how you're going to get better, what you need to be doing better, go ask those honest questions of someone, that a coach, a family member, a friend, whoever may see you train or know you well enough. Go and ask them, how can I get better? What do you think I need to be doing in order to get myself into a better place? Now, there are some injuries out there that perhaps are not our fault and just complete accidents. So this may not be something, but I'm sure there is always a lesson. There is always this lesson we can take out, these dark moments that we have. And it's in those moments that we can come out the other side better once we've decided to take up these lessons. So see if there is any lessons that you can learn, something that you've perhaps not been paying attention to, you've perhaps done before and maybe slid off and started to neglect. Maybe you got a little bit complacent in what you were doing. And by doing that, this injury occurred. So it's about refreshing, reviewing, and just reflecting and being able to go again, or set something up that's brand new in the first place and add it in. Hey, if you've enjoyed that video, then you can click right here to watch the full unedited version of that episode. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel by clicking the button below. I'll see you soon.